Hey there, I'm Dan. Many years ago when I started this account, I began my journey as a skiller, restricting myself to the lowest possible combat level of 3 while trying to achieve 99 in all the skills I had access to. While this ended up being a lot of fun and extremely rewarding, if a little grueling, I eventually bit the bullet and decided to convert the account to a main. Having already achieved 99 in the vast majority of non-combat skills, just about every quest requirement that stood in my way had been checked off, dealt with, and sent to the wilderness. And with all the exciting new content OSRS was putting out on offer, I felt the time was absolutely right for this change. After leveling our combat and taking home a quest cape, I figured it was time to dive into the next part of this journey and take on some challenges I'd not yet had the chance to experience in my time playing RuneScape. In short, it's time to learn some bosses. While achieving the quest cape, I was shown quite brutally that my bossing skills weren't quite up to snuff. I'm looking at you, the Whisperer, and there's a whole realm of content on the PvM side of the game that I've simply never tried. So let's change that. In this series, I'm going to be documenting my experiences as an ex-skiller and a very casual player, diving into the world of bossing and PvM and Old School Runescape, along with all the hurdles, learnings, and brick walls I'm bound to encounter. My goal here is to try to take these bosses on entirely blind, just as every player did on launch day, while relying on my chat for assistance as needed. I absolutely welcome you to come along on this journey with me. Now with all that background out of the way, let's dive in. When I first passed this idea across my chat, I had two prominent suggestions that appear as a recommended starting point. The first was Zulrah, and the second was the Phantom Musper. While I'd thankfully had experience with the Musper boss progressing through the secrets of the North Quest, Zulrah was the complete opposite. I had absolutely nothing to go off, and decided for that reason the Mighty Snake was likely my best bet to get this challenge kick-started. With no clue as to what equipment, gear, weapons, and strategies were best, I headed off to the bank, and geared up with some basic magic equipment, a toxic trident of the dead, divine magic potions, some prayer potions, an anti-venom, and as many dark crabs as I could fit in my bag. As for whether this was going to be suitable, no idea. That's part of the fun of the challenge. With our assumed equipment ready to rock, I scouted the map for the boss location and made our way over with ferry code BJS. After some friendly conversations at the dock and fighting the first time nerves, I made my way up to the jetty and offered myself as a sacrifice to the Mighty Snake. With no guides, plugins or assistance of any kind on my side, we kicked off the fight. And to no one's surprise, it went about as well as you'd expect it to. But it wasn't all bad. This first attempt at least gave me a little bit of insight into the multicoloured peekaboo mechanics of Zulrah, and also made it abundantly clear that I was not going to be using solely magic for this fight. I was going to need to bring a ranged switch in with me. I worked out pretty quickly that the different colours equate to different attack styles, and there were different weaknesses at play here too. Magic was absolutely suitable on the green, or what I'm going to call the ranged phase. As for how to tackle the red and blue phases, we had yet to work that out. After a quick detour to Lumbridge and a walk of shame to the dock, we were back on our way. Like our first attempt, our second attempt ended in death. That's to be expected, no changes there. I was learning very quickly that poison clouds and the snakelings were the bane of my existence. For whatever reason, I could not find a safe spot within those clouds. And as I hadn't yet worked out the strategy for the snakelings, let's just say they caused me more than a bit of grief. Despite my best efforts, the deaths kept coming in, and I wasn't going to be making any further progress running myself into a brick wall. While the snakelings were making my life more than a little bit tricky, this was a great chance to get some practice in for the switches and making sure I had the right prayers up at the right time. Not knowing where Zulrah was going to pop up or what colour was going to come along with it absolutely kept me on my toes here. To give myself some chance of a win, I headed back to the Grand Exchange and picked myself up a couple of Ring of Recoils. My thought process was I may be able to use the effect bonus of the ring to deal with the snakelings. I'd still need to heal myself through the 15 damage they do with each hit. It would mean they're at least taken care of without needing to swap to my blowpipe. And to my surprise, this worked a treat. While I was still finding myself getting caught in the poison consistently, snakelings were dying. While there were still plenty of teleports to safety, the one thing I did notice was that the boss's health was progressively getting lower and lower with each attempt. I finally felt like I was getting to grips with the switches and some of the basic mechanics. And I won't lie, it felt good. Sticking with it and a few more attempts later, RNG was finally on my side. I felt more locked into the mechanics at this point, making sure my protection prayers were up as the first priority before landing an attack. I kept my cool watching that health bar drop further and further into the red, until finally...
Let's fucking go!
Boys, the money snake is dead. With a newfound confidence in my back pocket, we managed to clutch another 6 kills for the night before calling it there. So what are my thoughts? This is difficult. I'm sure there's a number of players out there that are going to go, oh, settle down mate, it's just Zulrah, but this is new to me. And above all else, I'm very glad I went in blind. There's a sense of accomplishment I'm walking out of from this. Couldn't trade that for anything. And best of all, it's one more activity in Moneymaker we've got in our arsenal now. And fucking tastic. So with Zulrah beat, what's next? As alluded to earlier, the Phantom Musper. I'm actually really excited for these challenges. These are only 2 of many, many more to come. So if you would like to support me and come along on the ride, I'd absolutely love to have you. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to give this a watch, especially this new channel. I absolutely appreciate it and the support you guys have given me so far. But that's where we're going to leave it for today. Have a fantastic day or night, depending on where you are in the world. And until next time, we'll catch you later.